Nothing's gonna stop this shit show of an LP. Come rain or shine, or computer failures, or Discord just refusing to pick up audio, or whatever the fuck happens.
Yeah, it's like we're within like touching distance of the end, and then the entire world was like, "Oh, you think you're gonna do this, do you?"
Turns out LP curse doesn't just have to affect the person that's in charge of recording and editing.
Yeah, rather delightful that happened. No, wait, the other thing. Infuriating.
Yeah. Yeah, at least I've managed to, thus far in all these LPs I've done, not go to like the final like full extent of like what Jade Star usually goes through. So I'm at least grateful for now.
Yeah, no one's died yet.
Yet.
Uh.
Anyway, here's Ganon's tower.
Yay, stairs. Pulse-pounding excitement. Well, if you walk up enough, your pulse will start pounding. That's neither here nor there.
Well, yeah. And there's Flemming, still laughing. I'm also not kidding when I said the Ganon's Tower right at the beginning. Like, going back through this, I was reminded just how much this is like, feels like an homage to Ocarina of Time's final dungeon.
See, I would have found it incredibly funny if you just walked up 3 flights of stairs and that was the end of the chapter.
Maybe.
Every game is like, here's the stretch to the final boss. And then they just go, nah, just kidding, it's the next chapter.
Still, no stair sequence is ever going to be as good as Ninja Gaiden 2's.
Or Final Fantasy VII.
Nah, NG2 is still the best because it being the time where it's clear the developers wanted you to, like, break the game's fucking frame rate. No, it's like it's not really suffer in that sequence's case because it doesn't really throw like the super hard enemies at you, even on Master Ninja. But then again, it's kind of diminished because while like the game runs a whole lot better on Xbox One X through backwards compatibility, that also gets rid of the hilarious slowdown on that system.
Oh hey, it's Flemming. You remember him?
Yeah.
You know, our entire reason for being here.
Literal dickhead.
Oh, I remember this sequence.
Yep, Pachinko.
Except even more pointless.
Yeah, I'd be more concerned if it was like made to look even more like actual Pachinko boards with a whole lot more slots. At least here it's just 4, so it's like, and you kind of only really have to focus aiming in like a specific like direction for each.
And there's no roulette wheels or anything.
Yeah.
At least they give you infinite ammo for this section.
Yeah. Also, another thing I remember is that at least this is not Lucky Hit.
That sounds familiar. What was that from?
Would you like to play a game of Lucky Hit? Would you like to play a game of Lucky Hit?
Oh god. I get the feeling
which is funny too, because Shenmue 2 and 3, I still like play the hell out of a lot of those.
That's right, Shenmue.
Yeah. It's at least an easy way to like make a lot of money like in like the HD version just because you can save scum the fuck out of it.
Yeah, no wonder I forgot how what that was. I suppressed the memories. So, thanks for that. Well, at least I'll have another reason for waking up screaming in the afternoon.
Just Rio standing over you while you're asleep.
I mean, if that's... I'm going to say if that's
stoically.
all he does... If that's all he does while I'm asleep, I'm going to say I'm okay with it. Also,
He's
shit's
just
going a
standing
bit
there
silent
waiting for you to wake up because he still has to abide by like the in-system clock.
Just standing there mechanically moving small toys back and forth with 2 fingers.
Yeah.
Then asking me about the 4 voodoo.
Yep. It's always easy to riff on Shenmue, but I still like it precisely because of how easy it is to riff on. And also because, like, Yu Suzuki's done a hell of a lot in his career, like feats of, like, revolutionary shit on the level of Miyamoto early in his career, that I'm like, he deserves to have his own, like, self-indulgent project.
Yeah, kind of like if the guy that did Manos, The Hands of Fate was actually worth a damn.
But also the most
Tell me
important
about
thing...
the 4 voodoo.
Yeah, but also, like, it's the most important thing in his case is that, like, he still managed to, like, foster Sega's legit best studio ever, that they're still able to make fantastic games even without him.
Sonic Team?
Good one.
Well, it was worth a shot.
Yeah. Although it's only too bad that, like, AM2's games are still, like, arcade only and barely come out of fucking Japan these days. Unless it's, like, 10 years after once they've made all their money back in the arcades.
Yeah,
Which
or
is
they
how
do
we
one
got
of
Border
their,
Break, like, 9 years after it came out.
Or they do one of their, you know, very rare best of arcade collections, which only seem to come out once every 15 years.
Yeah.
When was the last time we saw one of those? Well, one that wasn't on the Dreamcast.
I mean, there was the Model 2 series that came out, like, on PSN and Xbox Live, where it was, like, HD VF2 and Fighting Vipers.
Dreams are made of.
Just stomping out all our frustrations.
It's all gone a bit meaty.
Oh, yeah.
It's funny because Carrion came out today, just to date this video. And,
Oh, yeah.
It's got loads of meat and squishing noises. Quite enjoyable.
Yeah. Look good, like, in all the times that they kept showing it at, like, the Devolver shows.
Oh, it's most enjoyable.
Oh, yeah. Especially the last one. Magnum fucking opus indeed. Featuring, not appearing in this direct whatsoever, Suda51 with a brief glimpse of No More Heroes 3.
Yeah, it's like, all these games. Oh, and, yeah, Suda 51. So, look at more games.
Wouldn't there have been, you know, more...
It's silly, but I desperately hope that, like, at least for a couple more events, that is the shtick that Suda keeps going with. Like, not actually giving, like, a full, like, demonstration or info blowout on No More Heroes 3, just teasing it in the most trollish ways possible.
Yeah, just, like, have all their show-offy things be featuring a special guest appearance from Suda51, and he shows up for, like, 2 seconds, gives a hearty thumbs up, and that's it.
Yeah.
Well, we weren't technically lying. We said Suda51 would be appearing, we didn't say he'd be doing anything meaningful.
Well, yeah. We'll have him, we'll have Geralt's Tub, and we'll have my uncle that works at Nintendo all show up. It'll be the best.
Yeah, I feel sorry for the kids whose uncles actually did work at Nintendo when everyone thought they were lying sacks of shit.
I just feel sorry for the unfunny bastards who still do not appreciate how great Devolver shows actually are.
Yeah, I mean,
Especially when you've like spent so many years following like the traditional E3 hype cycle and like that fucking song and dance. It feels really good to just have a company that goes all like late night Adult Swim on the fucking thing.
I'm genuinely amazed that they haven't gotten the guy that did stuff like Alan Tutorial to just direct one of their conferences, because you know it would be a perfect match.
Yeah.
Because he did not unedited footage of a bear. Well, he might have, but he did the one with the girl sinking through the floor.
Oh.
This house has people in it.
Okay.
Which, if you haven't seen, is basically a 10-minute Adult Swim thing with about 13 hours worth of content to be found on various websites.
Yeah.
It's nuts. But the most recent Nintendo Direct gave us new Shin Megami Tensei, so I could not be happier.
Oh yeah.
2 of them. One was completely unexpected.
Suck it, Persona fans.
Yeah.
Atlas didn't forget us.
It's not Persona 5 on Switch. Who cares? You're getting something even better. It's like complaining that someone gave you a 42-inch plasma TV instead of the 50-inch you so desperately wanted.
Yeah. It's only got 2 HDMI ports and not 3. Fuck off.
I got a little ditty and it goes like this. Suck my dick, suck my dick, suck my dick. Yeah, like that, basically.
Yeah, exactly. That was actually perfectly timed on for us, yeah.
I don't think he's impressed with my singing.
No, he is not. But yeah, that's it. That's, yeah, next video, we're gonna get to actually, like, show Flemming what for. But for now, we gotta get back to Kurayami Dance, and this time, we've got a whole lot of material to get through.
Oh boy. This is where the plot remembers, oh wait, we're supposed to be in this.
Yeah. Yeah,
this is the Suda 51 fan service central.
Mm-hmm. With also, like, very important things to get the plot rolling, especially when last chapter we were finally given a clear antagonist to focus on. Yeah,
kind of a trademark of Suda, in that he crams all the story in the last 15% of the game and then wonders why people are confused.
Yeah, like specifically the things that are like most relevant to what like the main character needs to fully like develop.
Yeah.
But here we are, moving on to chapter 13, Revenger.
Prequel to Revengeance.
Or Revengist.
The sequel. The Revengiest boy.
Yeah, Revenge, Revenger, Revengist. So the chapter starts with some boys in a car, specifically the ones responsible for killing Akari. And then Kaido comes onto the highway and just rams them the fuck off. Already an explosive start.
Yeah, it's like, shit, things are happening. What the hell?
Yeah, Kaido's been busy for getting ready for this moment.
Oh,
as
yeah.
you'll find.
Still with Akari's eye as well, you'll notice.
Oh yeah, which adds a whole lot of intimidation factor to it when combined with, like, him coming out of the shadows.
Yeah, these couple of pages are definitely some of the most badass stuff in the series to date.
Yeah, with, like, stuff that, like, if this were a game, this would basically be the start of the game having actual boss fights.
Yeah, this would be the money shot, so to speak.
Yep. So yeah, and Kaido's just, like... You know, he went off on Edo back at the Union Hotel, how he did not want to be called a Chunibyo, but this is, like, channeling that energy pretty hard. the shit he's doing.
Forgive me, Master. I'll have to go all out just this once.
Yeah, just hiding in the shadow, appearing where he least expects it.
Fucking teleporting.
Yeah. Got dual butterfly knives, cuts the dude's face up pretty bad.
Yep.
And yeah, the dude that he's been fighting is the one who specifically used the big fuck-off rifle to kill Akari. And he's a pretty big scumbag.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so before we actually get to see the eventual kill, we get a full-page spread of a pretty important scene that like gets further contextualized like right at the end, but you can make some pretty clear guesses about what Kaido and Naito's relationship or at least connection is.
Yeah, either this all started because Kaido shivved him for seemingly no reason, or it's revenge for something else.
Yeah.
But at the moment, I think it's put here to kind of make you wonder what Kaido's motivations in all this really are, and if he's really quite as innocent as we thought he was.
Right. So we cut things back to 3 weeks prior, because as you remember, the horse and cat girl got a call from Kaido's boss at the funeral services to try and like find him and make sure that like he doesn't go off the deep end with this revenge that he's doing. So they need to find Kaido and make sure that he does, that he stays safe, because the people he's going up against are legit assassins.
Yeah, we're entering the big leagues now.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, Kotora, Mitsuba, and then the other bodyguards, which only really have the nicknames of Big Thunder and Space.
Yeah, we can basically assume that they were the guys in the car with the ringleader.
Yeah, and as you probably had like noticed for like a lot of it, like the shots of like the car at the start of the chapter made it seem like there was only 3 in there at the time. So it's like most likely like Naito probably is not being done in this early.
Yeah.
So yeah, this chapter also doubles as Cat and Horse Girl's Excellent Adventures.
Hazel and Cha-Cha's big day out.
Yep. For first location on the schedule, Bungee Island.
Sounds like it's going to be a fun and whimsical Oh.
Yeah, with no rope bungee.
And a wait time of an hour.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Our wait time for what is just a fancy rewording of Suicide Point.
Yeah, but they're doing it so whimsically, like that.
Yeah.
Like, there's 2 people doing a flip. That's delightful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they arrive, they ask the people if they know Kaido, and it's like, oh yeah, we know him. He was here a few days ago. That guy up there who's about to jump, he actually knows more. You could talk to him.
Hey, I know your insides are all on the outside. Yeah, but seen this guy? I know you're going through a difficult time right now.
The particular panel where like the girl with the horse head is like showing the photograph to the guy that just jumped and splattered on the ground, I feel is supposed to be like a parody of kind of how absurd Domon Cashews "Have you seen this man?" from G Gundam was. The fact that he just kept bringing it up all the goddamn time, even during the middle of fights.
Have you seen my brother? But also those kind of interrogation sequences that pass for conversations in RPG. Tell me everything that there is to know about this small thing.
Yeah.
Well, I'm only going to indulge you for the next 14 hours, so you better bring a notebook.
Yeah. But alas, it's not gonna be long enough for that, because he just croaks anyway.
A blah.
Yep. So this place is done. Next destination, Wilderness of Betrayal, with a whole lot of Mad Max motherfuckers.
Yeah, and that dude with the Wolverine claws, who's definitely not inspired by Fist of the North Star. I don't see how you could think that.
Yeah. But also shades of Vega.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it might be bad for them, but that's okay, because just call on some wolves. They'll solve everything. And then form a little ring around the campsite to protect them, which, yeah, that's... Those are... I mean, wolves are canines, so I think it's applicable to say good doggos.
Yeah, I mean, you've got some warm, barky friends and some raclette, and what is there not to enjoy about this?
Totally. Third destination, Motor Carmobile, featuring Pure White Bizarre Lover Jelly 5. Assuming I did get that sequence of words for the title correct, I think, because it's a fucking mouthful.
Close enough.
Yeah. And special guest Glastonbury.
The fuck is going on here?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's... Like I said, this is totally the fan service chapter.
Yeah, and it's about as useful because all the robot fighting in the background makes it impossible for anything that they're saying to get to these girls. And just one nuclear explosion later, it's like, fuck this, let's go.
Hamburger Palace. Why didn't they call it Hamburgingham Palace?
I don't know, just to probably get by, like, a not so subtle Burger King joke, because we're meeting the king of burgers. and yeah, we made jokes about the, like, just kind of like silly RPG shit with, like, the interrogation stuff. But here's, like, another one of the NPC giving you a story that basically skips over it for several hours because it is just long winding before he goes, alright, fine, here's the real short version with the important details. Here's the cliff notes.
And the entire time they're like, I do not care less. Let's talk about dragons.
Or they just fall asleep standing.
Well, they are wearing masks, so it'd be a bit difficult to tell.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the secret for the masks.
Yeah. So yeah, after Kaido went by here and apparently went on some dumb side quest for the 3 grand dragon hamburgers, his reward was being trained in the art of murder by a very special assassin.
Yes, Carlos the Jackal.
Yeah. And as they enter, I'm pretty sure that they would be hearing, like, muffled inside this trailer, Hydrogen by Moon. Or that, too. But I was specifically more referencing the Travis Strikes Again trailer.
Yeah, true, but...
this is fucking Travis. You can tell. Yeah. He literally says the line that he says to Badman in that fucking original teaser.
I think didn't this come out before Travis Strikes Again was announced?
I think so. I know that, like, this is like the time that the manga was being made was, like, I think from 2016 to 2017. So it's like
would have been round about that point.
Yeah, or at least maybe a bit earlier, because, not to get ahead of ourselves too much, but when we get to the end of the next chapter, there's another Easter egg that dates it even harder.
But yeah, either way, you can kind of see this as a nice little teaser for Travis Strikes Again.
A teaser for the Sudiverse.
Yes.
Yeah, so, you think that there's gonna be a big fight, but they're like, nah, we can't handle this dude.
Nah, you're alright.
This otaku dickhead who plays video games all day, we can't compete.
Well, I mean, he knows Kung Fu.
Mm-hmm.
Probably.
Yeah, so, like, and at this point, like, Travis mentions Kaido and says that he's already a demon, and that's it. So yeah, that was like the path of nothingness that Cat and Horse Girl had to go on just to figure out what the fuck Kaido's been doing and where he is. As we get back to current events, where Kaido is fighting Kotaro. I'm already forgetting the name of like the dude that pulled the trigger.
Dickface.
Yeah. Scumbag. And it looks like and it looks like he's about to get the upper hand on killing Kaido due to an act of hesitation. But then Cat and Horse Girl coming with the save. Flaming electric bat and giant mace on a chain just pulverize the fuck out of him.
Cat's 17 tails. And of course it's the cat girl that's holding it, so.
Oh yeah. See ya.
Just a nice touch that it looks like she's holding him up on her sword like a piñata.
Yeah. Yeah.
Completely pointless, but I like it.
So yeah, they obviously know who Kaido is. They start talking with him as if they're already acquainted, but he's like, Who? Who are you? And then we're going to get the face reveal after taking off the masks, only to reveal they're still wearing masks.
Well, that's one way to ensure that your secret identity stays secret.
Yeah, it's
Then they take off those masks and it's a tiny little grasshopper.
It's just the grasshopper enemies from Hopper 8 mode.
Yep.
But no, this is a pretty humorous way to end this chapter of blood and destruction. Just going like, the fuck are you a homage to Junji Hirata? What the fuck's going on?
Yeah, after the last couple of chapters, this is a much needed dose of humor.
Yeah. Which now leads us into our next chapter, Horse and Cat. Horse Cat.
And Kaido's... Yeah, basically we're on the same page with him here. Like, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, he's still, like, not sure who they are. Asks, like, it'd probably be easier if you just took those masks off. And it's like, no, we can't.
It's part of our code as assassins.
Also, if you somehow don't recognize us even after we take them off, we'll just be super depressed. But then he suddenly realizes, like, thinking back to the whole, like, cat and horse motif that the two of them have. He recognizes them as his old childhood friends, Nekuda and Baba.
Yeah, I mean, remembering a couple of girls who were who really had like a motif that they stuck to, and then you're presented with a couple of people who stick to that motif, it would kind of start triggering a few memories, I imagine.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess like the history that these two have with Kaido is more that they always came by his home and always like dropped off a bunch of printouts to his mom. So I don't think that's two on the list of people who actually have seen Kaido's mom, I guess.
Well, unless they're figments of his imagination too, which at this rate isn't entirely out the question.
Maybe, but also I guess maybe an important thing to note is that these like based on like the outfits and such, like these, I'm going to guess that the age that they were like doing this and giving these printouts was when they were in elementary school. And as we remember from that flashback with Kaido and his mom, he definitely was not at a high school age or even junior high at that point.
Yeah, I think he was about 6, maybe 5 in those flashbacks, and here they look to be about 11 or 12.
Yeah, and then the other thing that kind of bridges the connection further is that apparently Kaido had, like, quote, saved them from Naito as a result of some incident.
So even back then, he was an asshole.
Yeah. But, and, yeah, I guess, like, the masks also serve another purpose besides, I guess besides like the initial worry of him maybe not recognizing them, is that they've always been kind of insecure about showing themselves around him.
Yeah, tellingly, we never see their faces at this point.
Yeah, it's like you see like the back or sides of their head, and even when you can't see their face, like nothing is actually drawn on them, like no eyes or mouth or anything. Cut to
then?
Massive explosion. The big mountain in space.
Ah, they survived.
Yeah, they were just waiting.
But, oh no, they've managed to score a lucky hit.
Yeah, girl's missing an arm now. That's gonna be a bit tough for fighting. So yeah, with these two still around, like the Nekoda and Baba are clearly gonna keep taking them on because they still know Kaido has an important job to do, and that revenge isn't really like a good excuse to kind of shirk that.
Also, one of the guys calls them siblings, which never really comes up again if they are actually related or what. But
I mean, their hair color, like, I guess, like, or lack of, considering that this is black and white, like, I'm pretty sure, I guess, maybe implied that they were siblings, especially if they were always together.
yeah, just an interesting thing that comes up.
Yeah. Although, of course, since there was, like, the initial job of having to do the funeral, one of them, like, does mention something important, that they won't let them hurt Kaido, not until he kills Naito. So I guess, like, that's still something that he needs to do. Which, I guess makes sense, because if he's the son of the ruler of this whole fucking kingdom, it's not hard to imagine that he's also waiting at the place he needs to do the funeral.
Yeah. I mean, maybe he can do both at once.
Yeah. Yeah, this is like getting even more like we mentioned, like at the beginning, like Suda almost always does this with a lot of his stories. It's like there's always like the initial job or goal of the protagonist, but it also like serves like a double role of like bringing them like face to face with like with something else that is equally important that will need addressing. Which it's very clear at this point there is still some sort of beef or like long-standing history between him and Naito.
Yeah, there's at this point I think it's pretty safe to say that there's more going on than the story has even begun to hint at.
Yeah. So yeah, Nekoda and Baba, they give Kaido enough cover to get back to his car and for him to drive off, which, you know, that's leads to a little bit of guilt on his part, because it just feels like, you know, running from something that he initially thought that he was gonna, you know, focus on doing, which was kill Naito's buddies.
Yeah, it definitely feels like he's just abandoning them to die to save his own skin.
Yeah.
At least that's how he feels.
Also, a little flashback to a very severe example of how much of a fucking prick Naito was, even like back in elementary. What he did, and I guess like what I guess like led to Kaido like saving the two girls from him. He fucking slashed out their eyes with a fucking box cutter.
Yep. I can imagine given that I think he's wearing the same t-shirt here, what immediately followed this was Kaido stabbing him in the back.
Yeah. Because I imagine, like, if he did not, that probably would have resulted in, like, way more injuries or maybe even actual death.
Yeah. And if you look, you can see that he's got his boys behind him as well, who he grew up with and turned into killers. So that was nice of him.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. Like, if you're the son of someone who ends up being a literal fucking king, you would want to get your buddies in on the gig.
Yeah. But the problem with being a kid is that you don't know which organs to go for, so unfortunately he wasn't able to murder the guy.
Yeah. So yeah, more introspection on Kaido's part about how, like, what he was especially feeling like when he was going up against Kotora, and like the kind of hesitation he was feeling, and just the fact that he clearly had like no real fear or hesitation, just hate and murderous intent, like basically made him feel like that he had already lost.
But at the end of the day, he kind of knows that he doesn't have murder in him. He says quite clearly there, I don't think I'll be able to kill another human being. He wants revenge, but despite wanting it, he can't actually physically bring himself to finish off another person.
Even after going as far as to meet the literal no more hero.
Yeah.
Which is like I guess that already, I guess the more you think about it, shows that like Kaido deep down is probably like a better like character at his core, or at least moral standing than Travis is, because he clearly had no issues going all in on the murder when he started his shit.
Yeah, and, you know, he went and got all the training to be an awesome murderer and was like, yeah, something about the whole murking people thing just leaves me a little, no, don't like. Grr.
Yeah. Yeah, the further looking in on himself gets back to the old, like the heart of like everything that's been with at Kaido's character since the beginning, with when he went to 300, and kind of thinking back again on like actually seriously for real this time of, you know, maybe like I did actually do that shit because I wanted to die. But then kind of remembers that whatever it was he saw moments before the crash and the coma, when he got to that speed, it was like he knew he wanted to live, and kind of realizes that like he still needs to keep going with it. And then also realizes that Chalia's like intervention, I guess, like in the whole thing, like why like he ended up like sticking around, how he survived in a coma for 3 years. It was like he starts realizing that he was actually more important to him than he realized, like despite coming off as just a big squiggly weirdo.
Yeah, kind of like a guardian angel almost, but more obsessed with Uno.
Yeah. So driving as fast and far away as he could, he basically just like falls asleep at the wheel and ends up running out of gas right as he hits the beach. It's a good thing it did not go any further.
Well, I mean, given the weirdness that's happened so far, he probably could have driven to the castle over the sea.
Yeah. Well,
would not be the weirdest thing.
Well, only if you're able to find the specific stretch of road that is just underneath the surface of the water.
Yeah, just give away the trick, why don't you?
Yeah. Anyway, we cut back to where the fight with Naito's cronies are. Good news, the two of them totally did get fucking killed. Bad news.
Bad news.
They're not looking much better.
At least they still have a good 70% of their bodies intact, so maybe
not so much blood by comparison.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, they're just lying there thinking about, man, we managed to pull through. Also, fuck guys who fight with guns.
Fucking losers.
Yep.
At least use knives or something.
Mm-hmm. Also, a little fourth wall breaking, thinking their death flags have been set up now. But wait,
and then
who's this in the distance?
Is that a unicorn?
It's Dr. Moonlight, bitches.
Ba-ba-da-bam!
It's the main event.
And he came on what should be a turquoise unicorn.
Yep. It's our good buddy Takeru. I guess Mondo Zappa was able to loan him out for a while.
Maybe Takeru's a free agent, just does whatever he wants.
Yeah.
It's like wherever there is a cute girl who is bleeding out, there will be Takeru. Doesn't actually do anything, he just likes watching. It's kind of creepy, actually.
Yeah. I guess. It is also pretty amusing when he does show up that the first reaction is like, are you fucking kidding me? But no, it's like, I'm glad that, like, you know, we're still able to see him around even after we left everyone else at the Union.
Yeah. It's, I mean, with Nekoda and Baba, we've only really seen them for maybe like one chapter, well, 1.5 chapters in total. But when I was reading it, when I was reading this, I kind of grew to like them. And it's nice to see that, you know, at least someone's getting out of this alive.
Mm-hmm. Just, hope they don't mind where they're going first. Yeah, there's a few weirdos you're gonna have to put up with during your recovery.
Yeah. Don't mind the girl who may or may not be dead. She's nice once you get to know her.
Or the manager who has a habit of slipping roofies.
Yeah, that
I know they're sleeping pills, but I refuse to believe that he did not, like, at some points in his life, slip things other than pills in there.
Yeah, just like seeing if you can play how many breadsticks we can fit in the mouth.
Oh boy.
Breadsticks in heavy quote marks.
Yeah. We head back to the beach now. A dude walks from the water, like, onto the beach itself. Basically coming out of, like, what looks like a little boathouse. Notices Kaido at the asleep at the wheel. Is like, it's a little friendly conversation with a dude that we are not gonna see past this chapter.
Yeah, is he important?
At least he's friendly.
Yeah, cooks some mean fish.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just the kind of thing that a man needs after driving away from something horrific as far as he fucking could.
Yeah, believing that he's just kind of left his last remaining friends here to die.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there's that dork back in Tokyo, but who really cares about him?
Yeah, he'll still be waiting when we're ready to go to the airport and start our road trip in America.
Yeah, he's like Seymour from Futurama.
Yeah.
You'll just fall asleep outside the airport.
So our mysterious friend, as it turns out, he actually comes from the castle. And I guess the reason is that he's just leaving because he wants to go on a journey for no real reason. Kind of like it's like an interesting timing for him to show up, considering, he's basically going on the inverse of Kaido's own journey, as it were. He has things to do at the castle. He's leaving the castle for, like, basically not even for what seems like a job, just for him to do the kind of shit that Kaido basically really deep down wants to do, which is, like, go on the road trip with Kenjin, just see the world.
Yeah, it just felt like going for a wander, see where he winds up.
Mm-hmm. And all because a man doesn't need a reason to live.
But then...
Yeah, so, as a little bit of a courtesy, since this guy clearly did not have any plans for how to transport his boat after getting to land, he's like, yeah, I'll let you use this. I mean, your car's out of gas.
Yeah, what's he gonna need it for? He he can't swim all the way to America, presumably.
Yeah. Also, the boat's not alone. He just gets to keep it forever now.
Free boat. Awesome.
Yeah. Which is like... Yeah, he must be especially well off, consider if he did come from the castle, and he just has all the resources he needs to just go on whatever fucking journey he wants. So yeah, thanks, Sumio.
Ba-ba-bum. Again.
Well, although it's not actually his real name. He just got it because he played the Silver Case a lot.
Yeah. Again.
And this is where I said that this was another reference that makes it very clear when this manga was written. Like, this came out, like, I think this actually, yeah, now that I think about it, it was more focused around 2015 and 2016, now that I think about it. Because we're near the end of when the manga actually was, like, being published and such. So it's like, yeah. This makes it very clear that this was 2016, because that's when the HD remake of the Silver Case came out. He even name drops the 25th Ward, which would eventually get the full remake a year later.
Because at the end of the day, Daddy gotta get paid.
Yep. Kaido is obviously confused as to, like, who the fuck he's talking to about this shit.
Gonna say, don't blame him.
Yeah, just... That's a trait that a non-zero portion of Suda characters have. Travis in particular is very attuned to it.
Yep.
So yeah, Sumio walks off, bidding Kaido farewell. Acknowledges how strange it is, and then like Charlie is like, yeah, he's weird, but he's also a nice guy. Hey, he's back!
Yay!
Our dumb squiggly shit brain is finally back.
All the gang is together, and no one is dead yet.
No one important anyway.
Yeah. Well, no one we like.
Yeah, because it's like, I mean, there's a bunch of dead Tanakas. There's Mr. Tainai who wanted to die. There's the whole Bungie Island shit.
Yeah, but the people we know and like are still alive, and that's okay.
Yeah, this is definitely, this is a very nice moment, and I guess does pretty much symbolize how, like, the period in which Chalia has been away was very much kind of representing when Kaido was legit going off, like, the intended path he's supposed to for real. Because we know Naito is still important, in the whole scheme of things, but it's like he still probably would not have needed to waste all the time like killing his cronies anyway, considering Naito is waiting at the finish line, and he can solve that shit there once he actually does the funeral.
Yeah, I guess Chalio showing up here again is basically like, okay, so you're back in the path. Let's get this finished.
Absolutely. And next video, we absolutely will get it finished.
Oh, yes.
Two more chapters, and that ending's a doozy.
Oh. It is a thing that occurs, and we get to see it.
Yeah, and I have a theory or two. I've at least reread it enough times to actually piece together, you know, like, what it actually means and how it further contextualizes or recontextualizes everything we've gone through, because you know it's a Suda game, or not game, story in this case, when it's just multiple things by the end just make you go, oh, that makes a completely different line of sense now.